Hey guys, I know I'm a few seconds early. That upsets some people, but it's 8 o'clock right now. So I'm here. Dangerous Freedom. Good to see you, my brother. And Margot, it's always good to see you. It's going to take a while, as we always know, to get some people in here. It seems like since I know it's going to take a little time to get people in here, I were to come up with a regular routine of some sort. Uh, but really, all I know to do is just to gather people in here. And hopefully, the people on the replay will catch it, and maybe something I say now, uh, they'll they'll pay attention to, like to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and to hit the like button, either coming in or going out. Whenever, it's always good to have the like button. It's very important. Leave a comment, share. Feel free to share my stuff anywhere, anytime, anywhere. Hit that bell icon so you'll know um, when I'm going live. And hello, Jeff. How are you doing? Margot, DM Damad. Thank you, DM, for being here. I had a feeling you'd come in, and it's always a blessing. Um, just trying to gather a few people in here, and until we get started. But I'll go ahead with my shout outs. Everybody knows that Tony Patriot goes live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then, of course, you have me on Friday night. Saturday night at 9 p.m., you have DM and B. And sometimes it's DM, B, and Ashley. So always check them out Saturday night at 9 p.m. Sunday morning, 11 a.m., we do a Bible study here on Deplorable Bobby. Alex is at 7 p.m. And then the Dangerous Deplorables come on with Dangerous Freedom and myself at 8 p.m. Sunday night. And we've got 6 people in here. It's going to take a few minutes, but I'll tell you, I got a story that just came to me. Hello, Cornbread, American Warhorse. How are you, brother? My chat thing up there doesn't work very well, so we've got a few people in here. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I was talking to Liberty Smith a few minutes ago, a good friend of mine, and he was telling me about what's going on in Virginia. Somehow I'd missed it today. And it looks like Governor Northam, remember him? He was the one in blackface and got away with it. He was the one who wanted to approve abortion up until after birth. He's the one that wanted to wrap the baby in a blanket and keep it comfortable until the doctor and the mother could decide if they wanted to keep this as a viable baby or end its life. Now, this is Governor Northam, a Democrat governor out of Virginia. Okay, here's the thing. Now he's calling for gun regulations. He's wanting everybody to register their guns. I don't know how he's planning on getting everybody to register their guns, but that's what he's wanting to do. So if he gets all the guns registered, which he won't, which means he's going to have to send somebody out house to house. Who is he going to send? Who is he going to send house to house to find out who has registered and unregistered guns? He's looking for a gun battle is what he's doing. And you know what? Anytime you think of gun registration, that always leads to confiscation. And confiscation always leads to death. And the death always comes in when somebody comes to a law-abiding American who, by the Constitution of the United States and the Second Amendment, has the right to keep and bear arms. And they come to take them. It's not going to go well. I'm not going to dwell on this, but I want y'all to know that this governor in Virginia is doing the same old stuff he's always done, and that is overstep his bounds. He's so far left on this gun thing that I really don't know. I don't know how he's getting elected. I mean, a lot of the sheriffs in Virginia are offering to deputize thousands of legal age gun owners And anyone who can use a weapon legally, he's wanting to deputize all these people. And this is going on counties all across Virginia. It's crazy. There's going to be a battle there between, if not the sheriffs and the state police, it's going to be against somebody, because Northam is trying his level best to put all of the gun confiscation, gun control, and everything he can in place. But he's up for election in 2 years, so let's hope maybe they'll vote him out. That's right, Sheriff Culpepper, American Warhorse. He started that in Virginia, and I'll stand with him. And American Warhorse, I know that you live in Virginia, and I'm not going to say what street or your address, because I really don't know that. But you do live in Virginia, and so you know very well what I'm talking about. It is a terrible thing to have a demon like that for a governor, and to live in a state to where Satan has such control in high places. But I'm going to say that's a good thing for you, American Warhorse, because you are a good man and a good Christian, and you're doing all the right things. And God's blessing you. Right now, I'm thinking about the blessing you got yesterday with your daughter. I know that had to be fantastic. His daughter graduated college yesterday, everybody. So congratulate American Warhorse on that. That was a big step for him and his daughter. But we're going to start off talking tonight about, the question. And I wasn't satisfied with Pelosi's answer. So I'm going to ask the question again. Does Pelosi hate Trump? Well, of course she hates Trump. I mean, how can we be so stupid to think that she wouldn't? You know, as Skeletor, Pelosi stood in front of those American flags and she spoke on the impeaching the president while trying to use our founding fathers. Get that? She used our founding fathers' language to make a point. This demon rat, come on. Here she is invoking the words of our founding fathers, and she ribs the Constitution every day. She does everything she can to destroy our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. She wants to destroy America, period. And here she is invoking the founding fathers. Now, how sick can that be? That almost makes me angry. But to make a point, I remember the words of Mark Twain. Everybody remember who Mark Twain was, right? He wrote Huckleberry Finn, and almost said Huckleberry Hound. He wrote Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and all those books. He also wrote a lot of little stuff. But here's what he said, and I think maybe Nancy Pelosi needs to listen to this. Don't try to teach a pig to sing. It's a waste of time. And it annoys the pig. Come on. That's what this whole impeachment thing is, and that's what this whole craziness is about how she hates Trump. It's of no matter. It absolutely means nothing, because Pelosi can't teach the impeachment pig to sing. And this is the truth about this impeachment pig. It can't sing. She couldn't teach it to sing. It's a joke. Just like Mark Twain said. Don't try to teach a pig to sing. It's a waste of time, and it annoys the pig. And that's what they're doing to President Trump, is they're annoying him, and they're annoying us. I know for a fact that you're as annoyed as I am. The Skeletor Pelosi hates President Trump, as all demon rats do. They hate that he's president, and they hate his economy is booming. It's booming like never before. They can't stand it. But even some Dems are coming over to Trump's side. I don't know if I trust them, but they sure are leaning right. Pelosi calls President Trump a coward. Can you believe that? A coward. And an imposter. So who is he impersonating? I guess he's impersonating the president. And he keeps saying, all roads lead to Putin. See, these demon rats are so stupid they don't understand. Anytime President Trump talks about Putin, he's doing it just to get their ear. Oh boy, they're going to jump on anything Putin. You know, actually, all roads under Trump lead to jobs and more jobs for American people. The American people who haven't had jobs under previous presidents. Remember our unemployment, how bad it was? How many people were unemployed or underemployed? I mean, you never heard of underemployed until we got into the Clintons and the Bushes and the Obamas. People were underemployed, not only unemployed, but underemployed. We know about our low unemployment rate now. We know it's dropped to a 50-year low. Come on, that's a win for everybody. How can President Trump keep winning and these Dems keep saying he's losing? You know, wages have went up under President Trump and the economic expansion is strong. And that's another win for America. It just happens to be under President Trump. Even Trump haters have to admit that with President Trump in the White House, we're winning like never before. Pelosi made it clear. You know, when answering the question if she hates Trump, when she said, President Trump is a coward for refusing to support strict, here it goes, gun control measures. See, that's all they think about. It used to be stop the wall, pro-abortion, they still are, and they're still against the wall. But now it's the guns. And there it is. She's mad at President Trump because he fails to support restrictive gun measures. He learned his lesson. I really believe President Trump learned his lesson with the bump stocks. I think he realizes that he acted a little too quickly because he got a lot of backlash from that. And there's a lot, not I, but there are a lot of channels that I've seen and come across that are not very happy with President Trump. And they're threatening not to vote for him. And I said, please do vote, because a no vote is a vote for the other side. So they don't even come off with that stuff. I'm not going to vote for President Trump because of something he did on the Second Amendment. That was a long time ago. It's over. It's done. We don't have bump stocks anymore. He hasn't messed with the flash suppressors. He hasn't messed with the high capacity magazines. He hasn't done anything on gun control. So let's give him a break here and let's all vote for him in 2020 and not worry about this penny ante little stuff, because we have a Democrat Party that we have to defeat. These people aren't going to just let us walk in there and take the White House, and they're not going to let us just come in there and take the House back and keep the Senate. They're not going to just let us walk in there and do that. We're going to have to do something. You know, gun confiscation from law-abiding American patriots is the wrong thing for them to want to do. You don't go into a law-abiding American's house who owns a gun and try to take his guns. You just don't do that. We're protected by the Second Amendment. People have to understand that the Second Amendment is there to make sure that we still have the First Amendment. And I'm going to tell you, that's where they're losing it. That's where the gap comes in. They're losing the connection between the First and the Second Amendments. They have to go together. Our freedom of speech and our right to defend our freedom of speech. That's where we're at. Because we're being silenced. We're being censored on every turn. We all know what their tube is doing. We all know what all these other social networking channels are doing. They're all doing it. They're all censoring conservative content. So what are we going to do? Do the only thing we can. Keep right on keeping on. Don't stop for a minute until they take us down. They may take me down tomorrow. I thought they were going to take me down yesterday. I'm still here. So anyway, we have to remember that this Skeletor Pelosi has called President Trump cruel because he abandoned young illegal immigrants known as the Dreamers who were brought to the United States as children. Okay. Now, here's where you're probably going to get mad at me, especially if you have any left-leaning liberal feelings, because if I can get my papers separated here, I personally I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less about these so-called dreamers or their claims for American citizenship. I really don't care. Now, just because they're here on American soil does not give them the right for citizenship. Just because they were drugged across the border as a child illegally does not make them a legal citizen. They still came across illegally with illegal parents, which they maintained as an illegal throughout his life. And so now he's a dreamer, and he's still an illegal alien. He's never been made a citizen. He's never done what he's supposed to do to become a citizen. He's been here all of his life. Why didn't he get started years ago? He would be an American citizen by now if he had done it the right way. But see, they don't want to do it the right way. See, just because they were drugged across the border by parents who were illegal aliens, which made the child an illegal alien, and he's still an illegal alien. It doesn't, a period of time of being in a country does not make you a citizen of that country. We don't have a grandfather clause. We don't have a clause that, well, if you're drugged across the border as a child by your illegal parents and you somehow live and sustain yourself, until you're an adult, well, then you can be a citizen. No, that's not how it works. These so-called dreamers can, become U.S. citizens right away, and they could be happy about it. Or we can send every single one of them right back across the southern border to whatever country their parents drug them out of years ago. It matters not to me. I have no sympathy when it comes to illegal aliens. I have every respect. I honor and I praise every immigrant that's ever came to America the right way. If you are here and you are a citizen, like it or not, be you a liberal or not, we are brothers and sisters, if you like it or not. We may be fighting amongst ourselves, but we're still all Americans, even if you won't call yourself that, even if you want to destroy this country. You're not true Americans. No, you're not. You're American by birth, and that's it. Name only, just like a rhino. You're an American in name only, because your birth certificate says that you were born in the United States. That's the only thing that makes you an American, you demon rats, because you're not American. You're as anti-American as they can be. You're as anti-God as you can possibly be. You're anti-life and pro-abortion. Dear people, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter to me if you're a liberal or if you're a conservative or what you might be. If you believe in abortion, then you should be a Democrat. If you believe in the murder of innocent preborn children up until and after birth, then yeah, you should be a Democrat. For me, that was the deciding factor. I cannot be a Democrat no matter what I could possibly like, which is nothing. But if I was one of those penny-waist liberals who liked all this free stuff and and all the stuff they're promising us and the Green New Deal and all this and no, if I was a penny-waist liberal and I didn't believe in killing babies, I could not be a Democrat. You cannot be a Democrat and be pro-life. It's impossible. It's almost a prerequisite to be a demon rat. You have to believe in the murder of innocent preborns. Pelosi accused President Trump of being in denial about climate change. But I say that Pelosi and her hordes of demons, they're the ones in denial. And they're in denial about who won the presidency in 2016. Come on. That's what they're in denial about. They're in denial about who won the presidency in 2016. And they simply refused any logical thoughts about our president. There's no good in anything that he could ever do. Pelosi said our democracy is at stake. Well, Skeletor, Pelosi, let me tell you something. First of all, we're not a democracy. How many times do I have to tell you people that? This is not a democracy. We are a republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And people, that's what we have to do. We have to remember where we came from. We have to remember what it's like to be a patriotic American. Instead of letting these panty-waist liberal Democrats make all the rules and write all the laws. Skeletor Pelosi is serving her 17th term in Congress. Can you believe that? She's been there through 17 terms, 35 years, something like that. And she's shown her hatred for President Trump. By being unwilling to let President Trump do his job without interference from the left on every issue. Everything this president has tried to do has been set aside, ran aside, thrown aside, drove aside by these demon rats and their liberal courts. They've stopped him on every turn. I mean, just last week, he had over $3 billion earmarked to go on the wall, and some judge blocks it. He can't use it. What is this crap? Since when do we have these liberal judges? Well, I guess forever. But anyway, why do we let them do it? We need to get rid of these judges. I mean, come on. We've got way too many of them. Way too many. There's a lot of decisions these judges are making that, man, I'll tell you what, a justice of the peace could do the same thing. It's no big deal to be a justice of the peace in a notary republic. I mean, come on. But, I had to laugh at Skeletor when she remarked that on her hate for President Trump, she said this about the Constitution of the United States and the fact that led to the president's violation of his oath of office. All right, so now she's saying that he's violated his oath of office. I don't hate anyone. And then she looks at the camera and points her finger at that guy and says, don't mess with me. So here she is, this 80-something-year-old woman, standing up there shaking and barely able to keep her words together and her teeth in her mouth. And she's up there pointing at a guy saying, don't mess with me. See, she thinks she has power. She can look at a man standing down there and point her finger, don't mess with me. Like what? What are you going to do? You're going to go down there and stomp him? No, you're going to have him arrested. You're going to get your attorney to dig up dirt on him. You're going to do something to smear his name. You're going to blackmail him. You're going to do something. Because that's what you demon rats do. You don't just get mad at somebody, you get revenge. And that's the whole thing. Revenge for 2016. Impeachment is the ultimate takedown of President Trump. And the Dems have failed in every single attack that they've made. And they have made an attack every day since before he took office. They knew back before he became president that they were going to try to impeach him if he won. They were already talking about it in 2016. Remember the insurance policy? Well, I want to ask you, whatever happens next in America is because Pelosi and her minions of demons and what they do. Now, we're standing in front of a row of American flags. You got this Skeletor Pelosi saying that Trump had given her no choice but to impeach him. He has abused his power. Pelosi's strength is the willingness to stand up for the Constitution and to check it, she said. That's where her strength comes from. It's from the Constitution of the United States. Here we are. See what happens? Where does this idiocy come from on the left? They are anything but constitutionalists. They do everything against our Constitution they can possibly do. I mean, come on. It's the demon rat that are causing all this censorship and our First Amendment rights being tore all to pieces and our Second Amendment rights are being attacked. I mean, come on. It's not Republicans. It's these demon rats. It's these sheep and wolf. Wolf in sheep's clothing. It's you can't trust any of these people. And she says she's all about the Constitution and stands up for it because it's a checklist. Yeah, right. It is a checklist, but not for you because you don't look at it. You know, it's a sham. It's a sham of shame that these demon rats are trying to pull off. I was sickened when Pelosi invoked the founding fathers and our Constitution when announcing that Nadler was going to draw up the articles of impeachment against President Trump. It almost made me sick. I mean, this woman invoking the Constitution while she's appointing Nadler. Come on, to run an impeachment against our president. How sick can they be? Do they really believe the lies in their own head that they're telling the American people? Do they really believe those lies? Does Schiff really believe all those lies that he told and all the con jobs he's pulled? I mean, do they really think they're doing the right thing? Are they that far gone from sanity that they are totally insane? And they serve the devil. They serve Satan. They have to with the things that they do. The founding fathers warned us that impeachment could be used for political purposes, and we're seeing it played out like never before. Right now, we've got people in our Congress doing stuff, and I'm going to tell you, it's sickening. It's a sham process. You know, they're trying to do this for political purposes and for no other reason. It's all political. It's all about the 2016 election. It's still about the 2016 election. You know, this sham isn't just a partisan act. It's also a rigged system that these demon rats rely on. See, they can't operate without a rigged system. They have to know in advance, what their options are. This is the way it goes when you're a member of the demon rat party. No facts have to be produced. None. You don't have to produce any facts. And these handpicked liberal witnesses that they've been pulling in here, they're absolutely Trump haters. I mean, come on, why are we using intellectuals in an impeachment? They have never seen President Trump. They've never met President Trump. They've never talked to President Trump. But they're going to be star witnesses for the demon rats in impeachment. Come on. I already see a problem. These guys are Trump haters. That's it. That's the only reason they're there. And they're scholars. To me, they're nobody. But yet these Republicans can't cross-examine even ask a question of one of these so-called scholars. So we're not even allowed to ask a question or cross-examine. So now the Dems have a full-blown sham process, and they're doing everything they accuse Trump of doing. They are abusing their power. It's an abuse of power what they're doing. It's a blatant abuse of power. This is a public sham, and the voters need to wake up to the demonic truth of the demon rat party. It's a mob mentality there. And it is. That's all it is a mob mentality. It's leading, otherwise law-abiding citizens to hurl rocks at cops. You know, these people have people following them. Why? I don't know. But they've got good people, people who could be good people, throwing rocks at cops. You know, and these lead to the same people who refuse anything, you know, unless they're told to do it by the mainstream media. Just like Antifa, the military arm of the Demon Rat Party. What more can I say about this? What do I have to tell you to get you to believe that the Demon Rat Party is destroying and corrupting the minds of many, many people that could be good people, but they've always been Democrat. Their parents have always been Democrat, or they just don't know. They're just total idiots. They're not in touch with what's going on. They're there for the handout. They're there for the money. They know it comes from the demon rats, so vote for them. You're never going to take a person that's getting a handout and get him to vote for someone else. So we got to alleviate the handouts. And that's what Trump is trying to do with the SNAP program. You know, it's going to be coming around here pretty soon that able-bodied people who are drawing food stamps are going to have to put in 20 hours a week, either working somewhere or volunteering somewhere, a total of 80 hours a month, or you don't get food stamps. And that's a good thing. I understand if you're a mother with children at home, it's hard for you to get out and work. So, no, we're not requiring you to. But if you're an able-bodied, and between the ages, I think, of 18 and 42, you will work for your food stamps. I can't wait for that to happen. It's about time. It's way past time. I wish we could just end that whole SNAP program, but I know that there are people that do need those. And I don't want to see those people lose any benefit. Those who are truly in need, I don't want them to lose their benefit. I want them to eat. I want children to have a full belly. I don't want anybody to be hungry. But if you're an able-bodied man and you're drawing food stamps, I'm going to tell you what, you need to go out and get you a job. Or if you're sitting at home eating food that your wife is getting for the kids or your girlfriend's getting for the kids' food stamps and you're eating their food, you need to get out and get you a job. I'll tell you, that's where it's at in our country. And that's the con that's going on with our SNAP program. I've got relatives of my own. I'll tell you what, if I was a rat fink, I would have turned them in years ago. They've been playing the system, the SNAP system, the welfare system, and every other kind of system you can imagine for the last 25 years. And it makes me sick. It really does. But then again, I don't associate with those people. I don't even really claim them as family. I just don't associate with lowlifes. And I hate to admit it, but there are lowlifes in my family. I've got some really great people too, but there's a few that I just don't even socialize with. But you know, what are we going to do as long as these demon rats are putting the word out there to these minions, and these minions are listening? And, you know, we call the left liberals, and it makes them angry. It makes them angry if we call them liberals. But they call us haters, dividers, teabaggers, right-wing hate groups, white supremacist, racist, come on, misogynist. We're all of this, but that's okay. See, that's okay. We can be all of those terrible things because they say we can. See, there again, here we go, right back to it again. The left can do anything they dang well please. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter how they say it. Doesn't matter who they say it to. They don't matter. It doesn't matter if it's written or spoken. It could matter less if it's the written or spoken word. They could care less. They don't care if there's a record of it on film or on paper of the things that they say and do because they're special. See, nothing applies to them. We call them liberal, and good Lord, they go off of the deep end. But yet they call us all of these other things. Deplorables. Come on, hence my name. I am deplorable. Hillary Clinton called us that, a basket of deplorables and unredeemables. Come on, that's what we are. That's why Dangerous Freedom and I have started on Sunday nights, hooking up together and doing a little thing called Dangerous Deplorables. And, that's what we're going to do. Dangerous Freedom is a dear friend of mine. I talk to him quite a bit, and he's a gun guy. He's a bit of a survivalist, and we get along really well, and we talk a lot. Not to mention that I do also talk to Manny, American Warhorse, and my dear friend Liberty Smith a lot. But we got Dangerous Freedom joining me on Sunday nights now, and together we are the Dangerous Deplorables. So come check us out on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. The world of liberal justice, in this world, there are no crimes. See, liberal justice in America, there is no crimes, only criminals. Now, this is not our American tradition. This is the tradition of the Stalin, Hitler, and the Fritz Guillotine. See, there are no crimes, only criminals. We're criminals just simply because we don't agree with them. I'm going to tell you right now, and I know people are going to go, oh, no, Bobby, don't even go there. Don't be talking that stuff. But look, do you think for 1 minute, if Governor Northam from Virginia could take a newborn baby fresh out of the mother's womb, wrap it in a towel, lay it on the table, have a 20 or 30-minute discussion to decide if you want to keep that baby or not, and if not, then murder that baby? That's what the demon rats want. How can we allow that? How can we sustain that in America? How can we have that hatred? These demons cheered the passage of laws that allow babies to be ripped from mothers' wombs up until the moment of birth and after. Like I said, even Governor Ralph Northam was praised, when he affirmed that he would execute a baby after birth. That's what he said. He affirmed that he would, yes, he would execute a baby after birth. You tell me how evil that has to be. Tell me, how evil can man be? He might as well be taking that baby and put it in the hot hands of Molech and sacrifice that child. Because I'm going to tell you, if he could do that, that's exactly what he's doing. Don't think for a minute that these children that are being aborted are not a sacrifice to Molech or to Satan. Don't think it for a minute. It's a blood sacrifice as sure as I'm sitting here. It's a horrible thing they do. I just can't understand abortion. I just can't understand it. It's the reaction from the Dems is very predictable, though. They all refuse to stand in agreement that a newborn deserves the right to live. They refuse to acknowledge the fact that a newborn deserves the right to live. I would venture to say that most of these people that would believe in abortion and think these things, I think if they were to have a dog or a cat, to have kittens or puppies, I think they'd be all about trying to keep those little puppies alive, but not the baby in their belly. We have dehumanized humans to the point to where even a little baby isn't human anymore. I just don't understand it. But then again, I'm not a demon rat. I'm not a Satan worshiper. I don't believe in Stalin or Hitler or Lenin or any of those people who kill so many thousands and hundreds of thousands of people, even their own people. But let's suffice it to say that Pelosi does hate Trump. Let's just suffice it to say that, because now I want to say something Just a few words about the woman that we all love to hate. And I can't let her get away with this because I'm talking about, of course, about the former Secretary of State, the former U.S. Senator from New York, the former presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, the former First Lady of the United States, the former First Lady of Arkansas, and the former employee of the Rose Law Firm. She also got fired from the Watergate investigation. But anyway, this useless piece of garbage is not a current anything unless we dive into her private life. But I'm not going to go there tonight because if I were to deal into her private life, I would have to bring in Huba Abedin, Anthony Weiner, George Soros. I'd have to bring in everybody. So we're not going to do that tonight because I don't really have that much time left. Let's see what's going on in here. Let's see, Benny's here, Colleen's here. Very good, Colleen. That's what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, you did. That's Carletta Edwards. Trump just signed a law. So you can't abuse animals, but you can abuse babies. Isn't that something? You can't abuse animals, but you shouldn't. No, never. You should never abuse animals. But here we go. Now we've got you can't abuse animals written into law by the swipe of a pen, but yet we're killing babies. Can he swipe that pen for them? Probably not. All because of Roe versus Wade. The demon legislation that passed so many years ago. Hey, Tony Patriot, how you doing, brother? Scam artist, you got it, my friend. See, what was that up there? Don't do it, Bobby. You would become a target. Oh, yeah, you're probably right, Dangerous Freedom. Hillary is a walking plague. Everywhere she goes, people mysteriously die. And, that's really funny. American War Horse, I'll tell you. I was reading some research today, and I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Let me get to her body count here in just a minute. Hillary Rotten Clinton is a former lot of things, like I said, but mostly known for losing the 2016 election. And you know what's so funny is she lost it to, of all people, she lost it to Donald Trump. That's the part the demon rats still are fighting for. That's why we have impeachment. That's why we have the Mueller report. That's why we had all this crap. Because they just can't get over her being defeated by the likes of Donald Trump. And we'll get to that here in just a minute because Hillary Rotten Clinton swiftly gave her public support for articles impeachment against her only political rival as soon as possible after the impeachment announcement was made by the Democrat leader Skeletor Pelosi. So as soon as Pelosi made that statement, Hillary was, if not the first, one of the first to jump out there and show her public support for impeachment. She wants anything down against Trump. She hates Trump, just like Pelosi does. Hillary Rotten Clinton said the impeachment push is necessary for defending democracy. Wait a minute. There we go again. Why are we defending democracy? I know. I hear people say, well, it's a democratic. No, it's not. We're a republic, as I said before, for which it stands, one nation under God. And that's the way it should be. Get rid of this democracy stuff. Get rid of these demon rats. We should be all one Federalist Party. We should all be happy and loving God and making America grow and be prosperous. We could be we are the richest nation in the world, but we could be 10 times richer, 10 times happier than we are right now if we all just believed in the same God. It's amazing how they took God out of the schools, They took the 10 Commandments out of the courthouse. You know, I'm waiting for them to take the Bible out of courtrooms. I'm sure they already have in some places. But see, that's the whole thing. This is where it all started so many years ago. Back when I was a kid, we had devotionals over the PA system. We saluted the flag and we put our hands over our heart as kids, and we recited the Pledge of Allegiance, you know, and we sang God Bless America. You know, we did all of those things because we were patriotic Americans. We were proud to be Americans in the world. I mean, we had just went to the moon. Come on. Of course, we had just lost President Kennedy as well. So we had a lot of terrible things happen, just like we're having now. But the terrible things that are happening now, thank God, is not until death, unless you're dealing with Hillary Rodham Clinton. You know, Hillary said that she's sure that we need to wage a war against President Trump, and we need to do it now. Hillary Rodham Clinton said, why not end the speculation about your running again in 2020 and throw your hat in the ring, Hillary? So why don't you do that? Hillary Rodham Clinton, why don't you go ahead and throw your hat in the ring? Because, you know, the big thing about it is she made this comment. She says she thinks about what it would be like to be president all of the time. She says she's not running in 2020, but is under a lot of pressure to do so. Hillary has claimed misogyny, the Russians, WikiLeaks, James Comey, as well as her email server, as the reason why she lost the 2016 election. She can't stomach the fact that she didn't know how to campaign. She did a terrible job. She's a terrible candidate. She would have been a terrible president. She's a terrible person. She's a terrible human being. She's a worthless piece of flesh. She is probably one of the most evil women who have ever lived on this earth. I'm going to tell you, people, this Hillary Rodham Clinton, she recently said that maybe there does need to be a rematch, and obviously I can beat him again. Do you see her arrogance? She knows good and well she didn't beat him the first time or she'd be president. We can't go by the popular vote. We've hashed that out before. Everybody in New York City and LA and the big cities, you know, okay, they all vote for Hillary because that's where all the demon rats live. Then you go out into the country and out into the suburbs and to the beautiful parts of America, and you've got all of us out here living our lives, our patriotic American, God-loving, conservative lives without the hassle of any of these demon rats. We don't turn on the TV or YouTube. We don't see them because we're surrounded by people like ourselves, and we live comfortably, we live happy, we live free. We have our guns. We have our families and our God, and our, you know, we have our beliefs. We have our lives. But these people in these, I'm not going to cuss, but in these hellholes that they live in these big cities, yeah, they're going to be the ones, they're always looking for that handout. So they're always going to vote for Hillary no matter what in these big cities. But, you know, as time permits, let's look back at who she really is. And I'm going to tell you, she is no better than her husband, Bill Clinton, was. Y'all know who Webster Hubble is? Well, Webster Hubble, look him up. Google Webster Hubble and pull up a picture of Chelsea Clinton. Matter of fact, if you just go on Google and say side-by-side pictures of Webster Hubble and Chelsea Clinton, you can transpose those things. I'm going to tell you, people, There ain't no denying who's her daddy. So Hillary Clinton was messing around while she was still at Rose Law Firm down there in Arkansas. And so everybody knew that Chelsea wasn't Bill. She didn't look like Bill. She didn't look like Hillary. But look up Webster Hubble. Look him up, side-by-side picture with Chelsea. You will be amazed. I mean, it's almost like they're twins. So anyway, we know who Chelsea's daddy is, and that's Webster Hubble. Matter of fact, I think he lives in North Carolina now. Hey, History B, how you doing? Let's see what's going on here. Okay, yeah, Webster Hubble. He was a colleague of Hillary's through Rose Law Firm, hence Chelsea. So we know where Chelsea came from. Go look that up. It's funny just to do it. But HRC was screwing other people just like her husband, the governor of Arkansas, was. And at the time of the Whitewater fiasco and the death of Vince Foster, remember him? He was a man who committed suicide and shot himself twice in the head. Never could figure that out. I know there was when I was a paramedic, I heard of a guy one time who shot himself twice in the head and committed suicide. But the first shot went through his mouth and out his jaw. So, yeah, he had to shoot himself again in the head. But yeah, I mean, usually when you shoot yourself in the head, it's usually one shot. I don't know how you could pull the trigger twice. You certainly can on my semi-automatic handgun. You can pull it once and it's going to fly out of your hand. You're going to be dead. That's going to be it. You're not going to shoot yourself twice. But I'm not going to, hanker on and hang around about Vince Foster. I just want you to know that it wasn't the beginning of the body count, but it was toward the beginning of the body count. And he's only one of the many, many bodies in the Clinton body count. And I'm going to tell you, there's over 100. Nobody in the world has ever known so many people who either hung themselves, shot themselves in the head, or died in an airplane as Hillary Clinton. Go look it up. Over 100. And everybody that's in that list is somebody who either was going to testify, had testified, or had dirt on Hillary Rodham Clinton. I'm not lying to you, people. She's got a body count. She ought to be in prison. She ought to be dead. She ought to have already been put to death for the murders of all these people. Well, think about it like this. You had Whitewater in 1992. You had Travelgate in 1993. You had Vince Foster's death in 1993. You had the Paula Jones and the Monica Lewinsky deal in 94. You had Filegate. Remember that? You had Filegate in 1996. And then you had the Clinton Foundation fraud in 2015. And then you had the email server fiasco in 2015. You see, there's a format here that she follows. She doesn't care. She thinks she's above the law. And evidently she is. So far, she has been above the law. And I have a question as to why. And not just her, but why is John Kerry above the law? Why is Joe Biden above the law? Why is McCabe, Strzok, Page, McCabe, Orr, Nellie Orr? Why are all these people just still walking around? James Comey, Brennan, come on, why are these people walking around? They should be behind bars. They should have already been before a military tribunal. They should have already been found guilty of treason. And they should be in Gitmo doing 1 hour a day in the sunshine. I mean, come on, why? Why is it that we had, I think it was $5.6 million he spent renovating a VIP 18-bed prison ward for VIP prisoners right after he took office? He signed that executive order saying that obstruction, corruption, and human trafficking of any kind, you can face the death penalty. Where are the death penalties? Where are the tribunals? Where are the courts? Where are the arrests? That's what we're all asking, President Trump? That's what we're asking. We don't mean to be mean about it, but come on, we're going to give you 4 more years. And hopefully in those 4 more years, you can do some of these things that you talked about. You're doing a great job, Mr. President. Don't get me wrong. But we need to see some action. We need to see you take action in America, for America, and things that matter to us. I know you've got world things to worry about. But now we got Hillary as the front runner, and she's not even running. She's not even running for president of the United States, but yet she is now the front runner in front of Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren, and she's not even running. People, what does that tell you? Do you think for a minute that she's not going to run? Do you think that she's not going to at the last minute? I think maybe she's waiting on Joe Biden to drop out. And he's fixing to, because it's fixing to get pretty nasty here by the end of December, from what I hear about these hearings we're fixing to have. So we'll see what's going on with Joe Biden here before too long. But I guarantee you, if it came down to Elizabeth Warren, I guarantee you Hillary would jump in. She couldn't stand to have another woman run for president. She couldn't stand that. Oh, I mean, her ego is so big that she could never allow another woman to run for president until she can run just one more time, because give it one more shot, because she's got it figured out this time. She's got it rigged. She's got it set up. She knows she can win. And the only way she's going to put her name in the hat is if she knows she can win. But that's going to be just like last time. What was it? 1,000,000 she was going to win. She lost. Remember all those crybabies? I loved it. I love seeing all those little panty waist liberals crying like a baby when she lost. They had to have counseling, and that was really bad. But now she is the front runner, so we can be happy about that. She's the front runner, and here before too long, we can make sure that we go to the polls, and when we vote, we don't vote for her or any demon rat. I know there's a lot of people who like to, when they vote, they actually go down and they look at every single person. Well, I do look at every single person, but I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. I don't care what it's for. I don't care if it's for dog catcher. I'm not going to vote for a Democrat for anything. I think I made it clear a while ago that I just ain't going to put up with it. I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to break bread with them. I'm not going to be buddy with them. And, don't get me wrong. If they want to come to me and they want to act like a decent human being, I got no problem. No problem. If they're not going to come preaching their liberal spew at me, because I'm not going to take it. I am not going to take it. Law-abiding gun owners have a new name. I told this today when I was talking to Dangerous Freedom on our Dangerous Deplorable show. We did one this afternoon. And they gave us a new name. Law-abiding gun owners have a new name given to us by the libtard, socialist, Satanist, progressive demon rats. We are now known as ammosexuals. I don't think that even works. I don't think that works at all. I've never had sex with ammo, and I don't know of anybody else that ever has. If you have, I don't want to know about it. But I think they misnamed us there. But I thought that was funny. I thought you'd get a laugh out of it. They were calling us ammosexuals. And see, that just goes to show you how little they know about firearms and weapons and ammunition and all that kind of stuff. See, they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just throwing stuff out there that they think sounds good. And I talked about this for a little bit, but I don't have time to do it tonight. Time's getting short. I don't want to stand in anybody's way. I know somebody else is coming on at 9. So I want to get out of here. I want to say good night. I want to thank you for coming. Sorry I didn't have time to spend more time in the chat, but I had to get all that hate out of there that these demon rats have been spewing at us. So, no, I love you. Thank you for being here. Trump 2020, Tony Patriot, you got it, buddy. 2024, I don't know about Ivanka, but maybe Barron, yeah. Keep turning the office for 100 years. We'll do what we can, brother. Fred Knott, love you. Thank you for being here. Carletta Edwards, DM DeMond, Dangerous Freedom, my brother. 12B Georgia, Manny, my brother, American Warhorse. Thank all of y'all for being here. We got 28 in the chat. It's a blessing and it's a success. So I thank all of you for that. If you're not a subscriber, I ask you to please subscribe. Go to all of these channels that you see in here now. If you don't know them, you don't have them, say S.A. McGibbon, History B, American Warhorse, DM DeMod, Miss Mary. Go to these channels. If they have content, subscribe to them. I love you, people. It's 9 o'clock. I got to go. I'm going to let somebody else get in here. I love you, Liberty Smith, Gary Holland, Sandra McGibbon, American Warhorse, Dangerous Freedom, DM DeMod. God bless, and everybody have a great night, and I'll see you on Friday night at 8 o'clock. See Tony Patriot tomorrow night at 8. God bless, and I love everybody here.